Professor Cricksnell adjusted her 6 optical sensors nervously as she addressed the intergalactic cultural exchange class. Today, each species will demonstrate their traditional defense techniques. Remember, this is purely educational, no actual combat. The demonstrations began peacefully enough. The Zealothi showed their ink spray defense, temporarily obscuring vision. The crystalline shards displayed their ability to refract light, creating confusing duplicates. The Vorthen demonstrated their impressive camouflage, blending seamlessly with the classroom wall. Then it was humanity's turn. Sarah Chin, the human exchange student, stood up casually. She'd been quiet all semester, politely taking notes while others discussed their species' evolutionary advantages. Most students had assumed humans, coming from a death world, would have developed extreme defensive mechanisms. So, Professor Cricksnell asked, what defensive trait will you be showing us? Enhanced healing? Natural armor? Perhaps toxin resistance? Sarah shook her head. Actually, Professor, humans don't really have defensive traits. We have offensive ones. But don't worry, I'll just show you some basics. Nothing fancy. The class exchanged amused glances. The soft, pink human with no claws, no armor, and blunt teeth was going to show offensive capabilities? First, Sarah said, picking up a standard classroom stylus, humans can turn pretty much anything into a weapon. This writing tool? With the right grip and velocity. She flicked her wrist and the stylus embedded itself 2 inches deep in the supposedly puncture-proof demonstration board. The room fell silent. That's impossible, whispered Zek from Altair Prime. The force required to penetrate that material. Oh, that's nothing, Sarah said cheerfully, retrieving the stylus. Let me show you what we call basic hand-to-hand. Can I get a volunteer? Someone durable. Grox, a Kriggith warrior caste student, stood up smugly. At 8 feet tall with natural armor plating, he outweighed the human by 200 pounds. I'll humor the little Deathworlder. Sarah smiled. Great. Just try to grab me. Slowly for safety. Grox reached forward with one massive arm. In a movement too fast for most of the class to follow, Sarah grabbed his wrist, stepped under his arm, and used his own momentum to flip him onto his back. The impact shook the entire room. That's called leverage, Sarah explained, helping the stunned Kriggith up. Mass means nothing if you know where to apply pressure. Human children learn this for fun. We call it wrestling. Professor Cricksnell's sensors were dilating in alarm. Surely that's the extent of... Oh no, Sarah interrupted. That was just grappling. Let me show you striking. She approached the reinforced practice dummy used for advanced military courses. Humans have this thing called kinetic linking. We can channel our entire body mass into a single point of impact. She took a stance that looked almost relaxed, then moved. Her fist connected with the dummy's center mass, and the supposedly indestructible training aid exploded backward, hitting the wall with a crack that made everyone jump. That's a basic punch, Sarah said, shaking her hand out. We teach that to kids for self-defense. Want to see a kick? Those are about 3 times stronger. No. Professor Cricksnell practically screamed. That's quite enough demonstration. The Vendrian student raised a trembling tentacle. You said this was basic. What constitutes advanced human combat? Sarah looked thoughtful. Well, there's weapons training. Projectiles, blades, improvised tools. Tactical thinking, ambushes, psychological warfare, group coordination. Oh, and we've got this thing called adrenaline that makes us stronger and faster when threatened. Some humans train their whole lives in combat. We call them martial artists or soldiers. They can do things that would look like magic to you. She noticed her classmates backing away and quickly added, but honestly, most humans never need to use this stuff. We're actually super peaceful. We just prepare. You know, just in case. Just in case of what? Zek squeaked. Other humans, mostly, Sarah admitted. Or bears. Or really aggressive geese. You'd be surprised how mean earth geese can be. The class ended early with several students requesting transfers. Professor Cricksnell added a note to the human file: basic human combat capabilities exceed most species' military elite training. Recommend avoiding conflict at all costs. Note, they consider this normal childhood education. Additional note, earth geese are apparently worse. Sarah couldn't understand why everyone seemed so nervous around her after that. She'd barely shown them anything, she hadn't even gotten to the good stuff her mom had taught her.